The aroma of roasted poultry and mulled wine, laced with hints of cinnamon, hung heavy in the room, thick as a deception that refused to fade. My fingers lingered near the delicate wine glass, its contents quivering not from my touch, but from the murmur of voices weaving through the air. Her gaze flicked toward me, a fleeting moment, practiced and cold. She pushed an envelope across the tablecloth, its edges scraping softly against the fabric. "Put your name here, you pathetic fool." Her brother's smirk widened. "Hurry up and vanish, kid. Don't come back." Her mother's laugh sliced through, sharp and jagged. "You'll walk away with nothing." They were waiting for me to shatter, to beg, to crumble under their weight, but my heartbeat steadied, calm where panic should have been. I traced the lines of ink on the document, noting how her pen sat poised at the corner, a lure waiting to snag. I didn't sign. I didn't speak. I rose, moved to the bedroom, and began packing. Each shirt was folded with meticulous care, every drawer cleared with silent precision. They thought I was defeated. I let them think it. By the time I closed the final suitcase, a faint smile curved my lips. They didn't question it. That night, as they toasted their victory with clinking glasses, I made a single call, the one that would ensure this Christmas lingered in their memories forever. It hadn't begun at Christmas. The seeds were planted in the warmth of late summer, when I caught her laughter drifting through a bathroom door left slightly ajar. Not sparked by a comedy or shared with a friend, but murmured into a phone, too private to misinterpret. I didn't confront her. I tucked the sound away, a shard to hold on to. Then came the dinner she never mentioned, the calls she didn't return, the unfamiliar scent of perfume that wasn't part of her routine. Her brother's visits grew frequent. Her mother's looks turned cutting, as if she were tallying my days. One evening, I reached for her phone on the bedside table, telling myself it was just to set an alarm. My hand still did a message preview. "Don't worry, he'll be out soon." My heart didn't fracture. It turned to stone. Still, I said nothing. The next morning, I kissed her cheek, smiled, and left for work as if the world hadn't shifted. But I began to listen, to observe. The way she angled her phone away from me. The sudden softness in her voice when she spoke to her brother in another room. They were constructing something around me, a cage built piece by piece. They thought I was blind to it. I started building my own structure. First, the money. Discreetly, I funneled what I could into an account she didn't know existed. Then the records, every receipt, every shared asset cataloged, every legal detail woven into a careful web. But the core wasn't financial. It was truth, and truth demanded evidence. Her car's navigation logs revealed trips to places she claimed were salons, but twice led to a hotel. I hired someone who worked without questions. 2 weeks later, I held photographs, sharp, undeniable images. Not her brother, not a stranger, but her mother's business associate, a man she'd once called kin. The irony stung. I gathered phone logs, text exchanges, emails. I read their words about me, mocking my routines, my career, my trust in her. Each revelation was a pebble added to a jar I filled with care, until it brimmed so full of breath could tip it over. Yet I kept my seat at their table. I laughed on cue. I let them see me as harmless. Even as they planned my downfall, they were crafting my ruin, but I was assembling their reckoning. The final piece arrived on a Thursday afternoon. A plain envelope slid across my desk, much like the one she'd offer at Christmas. Inside, proof of bank transfers, her mother's account to hers, hers to his. It wasn't just infidelity. It was a scheme. That evening, I set the folder on our kitchen counter and waited. She came home late, carrying the faint trace of his cologne. Her eyes landed on the file. She opened it. Her expression didn't collapse immediately. It fractured gradually, like frost splintering under weight. "Where'd you find this?" I didn't reply. My silence spoke for me. Christmas dinner was their performance. They thought the envelope was their triumph. When I walked away that night, my bags were packed, but not with what they assumed. Every document, every image, every fragment of evidence was already with my lawyer. The authorities had been informed. The tax office, too. By dawn, sirens wailed, not for me. Her mother, cuffed, faced charges of fraud, embezzlement, tax evasion. Her business partner, arrested for laundering. Her brother, tied to the accounts, was taken for questioning. She escaped arrest that day, but her name splashed across headlines, her face in photographs, and every client her family had fled. I didn't linger to watch. I was already gone. My new apartment was modest, its walls unadorned, no framed memories. I preferred it that way. The silence wasn't empty, it was purer. I thought of their laughter across that Christmas table, their certainty, their faith in their story. They'd cast me as a prey. I rewrote the conclusion. No calls followed, no apologies came. They had no words left for me. That night, I sat in the quiet, a glass in hand, the distant wail of sirens echoing in my mind. And I understood something clear. I hadn't just left with what I packed. I'd left them with nothing.